Joining us tonight to discuss Mr. Trump's efforts to reverse the Obama foreign policy failures in North Korea specifically tonight, James Inhofe, senior member of the Armed Services Committee and a great American. Senator, great to have you with us. And on this historic occasion, your thoughts about President Trump already achieving if not impossible, the improbable, and that is a sit-down face-to-face with Kim Jong-un.
Yeah, well, Lou, it's nice to be back with you. I didn't have any doubt that he was going to pull this off. You know, I remember, by coincidence, Lou, I was in South Korea when this little exchange took place, and Kim Jong-un talked about "I have a button," and right. One thing is true. Back in November 28th, he demonstrated he could hit. He had the range to hit at an American city or state, right. And so he was actually using that. He said, "I have a button. I can do this." The response that came out of Trump was such a diversion of what we've been used to of the 8 years of Obama. When he looked right at him, he said, "Yeah, I got a button too. Mine works, yours doesn't, and I'll blow you off the face of this earth." That had an impact on that guy. Yeah. I mean, I mentioned I was in South Korea when that happened. It was a matter of just a few minutes after that he called down to South Korea and said, "I've changed my mind. We're going to send athletes down from North Korea to participate in the Winter Olympics." And then he said, made a gesture at that time. He wanted to sit down with South Korea and even with the new president over here. And so at that time, I saw the shock treatment taking place that was the whole world is responding to.
And you, on that trip, I know, went to visit our troops in the DMZ, and that is now part of the discussion about the discussion, if not actually part of the negotiation. General Mattis being asked about it, that is reduction of troops, U.S. troops in South Korea. For a long time, Senator, and I'll say it straight up, I have thought that was an awful big ask and probably an ask that we should never responded to keep that many troops in a highly vulnerable, to say the least, position along the DMZ to secure the peace.
Yeah, of course, we got 27,000 troops over there, and you know that's a huge presence. Now, I would say this: as they start negotiating, as they start getting into talks, we would be leaving troops there. One of the things I'm sure that Kim Jong-un would like would be a mass exodus of American troops. That's not going to happen because we have other reasons. Look, I was recently in the South China Sea area, and all of our allies down there are watching what China's doing there with the idea that they're preparing for World War III. I mean, big things are happening there. We have to have a presence. But I think the need for a presence insofar as North Korea is concerned, if they're successful, it's not going to have to be those numbers. I think you're right on that. But, you know, and who knows? We have a president who knows what he's doing. And we're not used to that. And we have one that has the respect Senator, of the free world.
We haven't been, but I got to tell you, I'm doing, if you will, just my own personal survey amongst friends and folks I talk with every day. This country is getting more used to having President Trump than they ever dreamed possible, many of them. This is a president who is making big changes in attitude.
Look, that's true, and it doesn't make any difference where it is. Ukraine, other places where he is reasserting America in its role in a leader in the free world. Right. I mean, we lost that. You know, look what happened down in Syria when they went ahead and crossed the red line and they had chemical weapons, and of course Obama did nothing after all of his threats. And the first time that happened with this president, he blew him up. And so right now, Kim Jong-un knows full well that he's dealing with someone who is capable of anything. And of course, in their minds, the president it's kind of like the presidents are in other countries. They can do anything they want. There are more restrictions here, but nonetheless, he knows he's dealing with someone who can really do him harm and is willing to do it.
And is willing to sit down and talk about a long-lasting peace so long as there is verifiable denuclearization. Senator James Inhofe, great to have you with us. Great to see you. Thanks for being here.
Good to talk to you.
Good to see you. Be sure to